I know most of you probably have watched it, but you ain't watched it with me. Then you ain't really watched it. Hey y'all, it's your girl J9 Eve, and as you see here, we have Darrell Brooks's mother with this very, 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 very red hair, maybe fuchsia. This was an interview that she did with Fox 32, and they, I guess, just sitting on her porch, just chopping it up about what little old Daryl's been up to since he left the driveway. I just thought we should probably hear out what Mom Dukes has to say. I know most of you probably have watched it, but you ain't watched it with me. Then you ain't really watched it. So let's hear what Mom Dukes got to say, cause Daryl. And what is it? What is it? What's your message? What's your message for the peeps, Mom Dukes? What's your message for the peeps?
Why should I sit silent and let people paint him as a monster?
Because he's a monster, Mom. Hey, Mom. You know you can love a monster, right? I don't know if you knew this. Maybe nobody told you this, but you can still love him, and he be a monster too. Dahmer's parents probably, in some way, shape, or form, did love him. In fact, I think Dahmer's father just really loved him. I think that was the story. So just because you love him, don't mean he ain't a monster. Those things don't equate. Okay, they don't equate like the Walmart brand. Okay, they don't equate. All right.
And treat him like he's nothing but a sewer rat.
Well, Mom, come on. Let's be real. He wasn't allowed in your house neither. Okay? Once you put him out of your house, now have you, once you put him out of your house, you then can't be mad because nobody else wants him around their house. Okay? We don't want him around for the same reason you didn't. Because he was a sewer rat. That's, if you just want to be real about it. I mean, just if we're gonna keep it all the way 100, that nephew that's right behind you, behind that door in that house, almost got murked by that angel son of yours. Just saying. Just saying. Okay. If he ain't a monster, then why you ain't let him back in the house with your nephew? Why you all of a sudden don't trust him around your family? Why he ain't allowed in your house, Mom? And then when he go and he run over everyone else's children, now it's why they gotta be treating him like he just some kind of monster. He just a sewer rat is what he is. Why they gotta be talking to him like that? But this one they should have said, well, we thought about letting him go, but only if he can stay in your house. Mom Dukes would have changed the story real fast. Oh, no, 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 no. No, no, no. You misunderstand me, sir. What I was saying is that please don't make him come to my house. That's what I was saying. I mean, you didn't understand what I was saying. Well, that's what I was getting at. Is that, you know, please, please no, is what I was saying. Okay, Mom. Got you. Roger Dodger.
When I know
Hmm.
that is not my son.
Oh. Oh, well, who is he then? Oh. Oh, well, there you go. It's like what Daryl said. He's not Daryl. When Daryl tell you he ain't Daryl, you got to believe Daryl. And if you're gonna believe anybody, you definitely got to believe the person who birthed them and named him Daryl. Now that's the person you really got to believe. If she named him Daryl, then she definitely know his name ain't Daryl, right? Is that how logic works? No. Oh. Proceed, mother. Proceed.
What message do you have for the families that are left of the victims who died?
I just want them to know that that was not a deliberate act.
But the video shows him.
Yeah, yeah. Explain it to her, ma'am. Explain to her what had happened and how it was on. It was in 4K. Explain to her how cameras work. He didn't mean to do it. He didn't mean to shoot his nephew neither. He didn't mean to do that. He didn't mean to shoot my grandson either. He didn't mean that neither. He didn't mean to bother the shit out of me his whole life either. He didn't mean that neither. He didn't mean for me to have to kick him out of his house because he was so intolerable. He didn't mean that. It was not intentional, y'all. You got to believe me. If you don't, he's gonna call my house every day asking me for some commissary money. I need for him to not do that, y'all. Okay? If I don't say nice things, he gonna call and harass the shit out of me. And I ain't wise enough to just stop answering the calls. I steady be answering these here collect calls so he can abuse me from behind the bars. But okay. He did. It was not intentional. Oh, okay. Well, then I guess everybody gets to come back to life. Great. Everyone with broken bones and punctured lungs. Oh, you're fine now because mom said it wasn't intentional. just saying, Mom Dukes. Just saying.
Going and not stopping.
Yeah.
How some people will ask, how is that not deliberate?
Yeah.
I asked him that question.
And what he said?
And he said, Mama, I don't know. He said, I don't know what
I don't know. That was his answer? Oh, well, I mean, if he don't know, then it must not have happened. It must not have happened. It didn't happen. Cause he didn't know, y'all. He didn't know. And that equals it didn't happen. Darrell. So she asked him, Darrell, how could it not be intentional if you drove through all of those packs of people 7 blocks worth of people? How can that not be intentional? I don't know, Mom. Well, I don't know what to tell you. I have no idea. And then she go, oh, well, it wasn't intentional then. Let me ask you this, Dawn. Let me ask you, here's a good question for me to ask you and for you to ask you. Do you believe your son? Now, I know at this time in your life, because of all this, you feel coached to say yes. You feel like you have to say yes. But in reality, you and I both know that you do not. And why don't you trust Darrell, Dawn? Because he lies constantly, right? Because he's untrustworthy has always been, correct? So when he says he doesn't know why he drove through the parade, you believe him why? You can love a liar if you want to. You can. You don't have to believe him just because you love him. I don't know why people can't separate these things. You got to be able to separate the things. Like you can love him and know he's a liar. Man, I love that little lying ass motherfucker. There you go. See? That's how it goes. But he's still a liar. And he's still a monster. He is a monster. There are way too many fucking kids who are afraid of a Darrell under their bed. At this point, they are afraid when they go outside to go get on the bus. I'm sure this school year, the kids who weren't even hit, they just was witnesses. Were afraid to go outside, afraid to go anywhere near a street because they think a Darrell's coming. Darrell made himself the boogeyman. He's the boogeyman. I mean, he looked the part. He's short enough to fit under any bed. You just walk under there. He ain't gotta lay down. Just walk. I'm sorry, Mom Dukes. I have to. It's what I do. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry because Darrell is a monster. Okay. I know it's a terrible time, But I also think it's weird that like you're making this face, but I don't see no wetness. I'm starting to think he learned it from you. That is a very cry face you making for it to be so dry. That's all I'm saying. Like that's a lot of cry face for it to not be wet. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's it. That's all I'm saying.
I was doing, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't know. He
Oh
can't answer that.
no, no, it's not that he doesn't know, Mom. It's that he won't tell you. Okay, not the same thing. I'm sure he said that he didn't shoot at your grandson too, his nephew. I'm sure when that happened, I'm sure he said, "Mom, I ain't shoot at him." Tell me I'm fucking lying. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me he didn't lie. Tell me he didn't lie and say he didn't do it. You can't because he definitely fucking said it. He absolutely said he didn't do it. For sure he said it. Oh, definitely. He definitely said it. He definitely said, I ain't do that. I ain't what you talking about. I heard a shot. I didn't even hear nothing. He crazy. He did all of that, but he damn sure didn't tell the truth. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Daryl can't tell the truth. He don't know how to tell the truth. Okay? And you never required him to have to tell the truth. Because he got his way whether he lied or not. In fact, he got his way more when he lied because he made himself so intolerable that you just had to do just whatever he said. It's probably a court order, her even having to not have him not being able to come in the house because of what he did to the nephew. The fact that she would even still let him sit in the driveway in that car, his house / his house and entertainment center. Because he kept his TV in there. He literally had his TV in there. For anyone who didn't catch it, I did an interview with Erica, and she said he had a TV in there, and he used to run the cords to his mama's house and watch TV, watch cable and shit in his car with a whole fucking TV. Talking about a whole goddamn TV. Not like a little mini TV, a TV, a television. I'm sure that he stole out of his mom's house, if I had to guess. My theory that he stole it. My theory that he took it when he left. Fine, I'm gonna take this TV with me then. Ugh. He could barely carry it outside because him and the TV was the same size, but he got it out. He got it out, and that's all that matters. Okay? That's all that matters. All right. But the fact that she would even let his weird ass still sit in the driveway. You gotta let things go. You can love people from afar. You gotta learn that. Anybody out there, learn that lesson. You ain't gotta not love them. You can love them from afar. In fact, it's better. It's better for them. It's better for you. It's better for everybody. Okay? Love them from afar. Get him the fuck out of there. Why is he in your driveway? Like using your electricity, girl. And he's so spiteful. I bet he would run it all night, even though he wasn't even watching no more. In fact, look at that extension cord that's running out from there. I guess that's how he used to do it too. See the extension cord behind her on the ground? I bet that's how he's used to running out the porch thing. And he used to run to the car. And that's how he's sitting there and watch Tom and Jerry on TV. What did Daryl like to watch on TV, I wonder?
I wished
Probably Fast
the
and
police
Furious.
could have shot out the tires. Something.
Holy shit. Wow. Oh, okay. Okay. Wow. He got that shit from his mother. It's the police's fault. It's the police's fault. There he is. She just said it. The police's fault. If they would have shot out his tires, none of this would have happened. Really, Dawn? Really? If they would have shot out his tires, none of this would have happened. Wow. Wow, Dawn. Wow. That's talent. And you passed it on. You gave it to your son fair and square. If they would have shot out the tires, if someone would have stopped him. How about they shot him? I mean, I mean they tried to do that. I mean, that'd have been good. They had, if he had succeeded, but he did not. But you want him to shoot out the tires. Why not shoot out the driver? What? Just saying. I mean, you know. What if he shot the tires and then the car just sped out of control and hit even more people? You know? Just saying. Like, but that's funny. So he got that from his mother. It's always somebody else's fault. It's the observer's fault. It's the victim's fault. It's everybody but the person who did it's fault. I wonder how many people she's been done some weird shit to, and it was their fault. Cause we learned this shit. I'm gonna tell you this. This is a learned behavior. He definitely got this from his mother. And if that's her thought process, what's the chances she ain't been victimizing people her whole life? Just like Darrell, she just never made it to the parade. And by that, I mean like the level of what he did at the parade. And so here she is with her lashes. Got your lashes, did Mom Dukes? She got her lashes, did honey? Yes. You trying to cover up? Oh, you trying to cover up? You trying to cover up? You don't want nobody to know that you be on Instagram with the filter, do you? Do you? Is that what you be doing? I don't know. That hair's awfully red. Seems like somebody who likes attention to me. I mean, that's just my theory.
But he can't tell me. I can't tell you.
Ain't no tears.
Only God knows.
Ain't not a tear in the face. Ain't not a tear. She ain't wiped it. She ain't wiped it. Not one tear. You hear her doing that sniffling thing, it's because it's cold as fuck over there right now. Like when they're doing this, it's because of how cold it is that they always got it. They always doing it. Yeah, with it. That's why that's happening. It ain't because it's to stop from the emotion. No, that's not it. There, look at it, dry as a bone. Dry as a bone. What is you doing? Where is your Visine at? I mean, you have come to play a role here. You got to commit. You should have had a handful of onions, you know what I'm saying? She's been rubbing them shits in your hands whole time. Act like you warming your face. You're actually really rubbing onions in your eyeballs. Oh my gosh. You do the rain dance, get some water out of them eyes, honey. Do it, do it.
Is he remorseful?
We talk about the family often.
That's
and
a
the
no.
victims.
Okay, so that was a no. Is he remorseful? Well, we talk about stuff, you know, like the birds and the bees, the flowers and the trees. We talk about all kinds of things. Like I asked you if he was remorseful. Is there an answer to that question? I mean, wait. So that's a no. So we got our answer to that one.
And he says to me that he prays for them too, and he has to live with the fact that 6 people died because of him. He's full of shame.
No, that's her theory. That's not what he said. That's not what he said. He said, I didn't do it. I don't know what the fuck they talking about. It's them white people. That's what he said. They just want to bury a black man. That's what he said. This is the type of shit I'm sure that Darrell said, because this is how Darrell is. This is how Darrell talked. This is Darrell's theory. So this is more like what had happened. And she's like, oh yeah, he said he prays also. Also, he should become a prayer. All he should be, he shouldn't have any time to think. He's so busy talking to Jesus. He's remorseful. He's sad that, he's responsible. No, he feels powerful because he made that happen. He was planning it. Remember? He wanted to, roll up on a bunch of specifically old white people for some reason. Like, I don't know why they had to be old, Darrell. Like, why was it old ones? Like, I still don't understand that. Why was it the old ones? In his little tweet thing, he said he wanted to start attacking old white people, specifically. Old white people is what he said. Why? Like, what, why the old ones? Why not the brawn, around your age white men, Why you ain't attacking them, little man? You know, little one. Oh, that's right. Cause you's a scary little bitch. That's why. He wanna attack anything that he feel like can't fight back. Oh my God. He is the word he is the very definition of a coward. By definition, Daryl is a coward. You raised one of those, honey pot. That's your fault.
Do you feel responsibility that
Yes.
Yeah,
If
as
I
you should.
would have just not bailed him out.
Yes. Ah, mother makes a good point. Mother makes a good point, Dawn. Uh-oh. And when she said that, out came the single tear. Oh, it's funny what honesty do, don't it, Dawn? Ain't that something? When she was giving all the bullshit answers that Daryl told her to say, dry as a bone. But soon as the tiniest little bit of honesty comes out, if I had not have bailed him out, this is my fault. Soon as she said that, here come a tear. See? See the difference between reality and fantasy? Yes, Dawn. It absolutely is true. You spent $1,000 to get him out of jail for him to go and murder people, maim so many people, and then get 1,000 years. So your $1,000 equated to 1,000 years. And this is why you got to let people take whatever their punishment is. When they do bad things, you think that you're helping them out by getting them off the hook, but you're not. You're actually setting them up for worse, for something permanent, for a permanent payment, right? You got to let them. Suffering is not a punishment. You got to let them suffer. Let them suffer. This is where we learn. Every time you've ever fucked up in your life, you learn some shit from that. If every time you did something stupid, somebody came and swooped you up, and so you never saw the punishment from it. Because imagine just Superman just hovering in the sky, and every time you do something shitty, he come down and the consequences coming around the corner, he come up and swoop you up and take you up in the sky. So you are the one who never gets caught. You think you're gonna keep doing these things because you feel like you can, because someone's gonna save you. It's gonna graduate. Your behavior is gonna graduate, and then eventually, of course, Superman is gonna be like, he gonna not show up one day. That day is always gonna end up being the day you did the worst possible thing, and then guess what? Okay, 1,000 years. That's what. 1,000 years. 1,000 years in the prison. 1,000 years he will be gone. Bars.
None of this would have happened.
Yeah.
if he feels remorse, why the antics in court?
That part.
The antics in court is mental illness.
Oh, is it?
Is there anything you can say to tell him to stop?
I have told him.
Will you continue to?
I will continue to tell.
Yeah, but that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. You just contradicted yourself. He's the antics in court are because of his mental illness. If that's because of his mental illness, why are you telling him to stop? Then if it's the mental illness, that means that he can't. He's not in control of it. You just blame the mental illness, which means he's not choosing to be that way. It's the mental illness. So if that's the case, why would you tell him to stop doing it? It would be a pointless thing to say, wouldn't it? Because it's not him, it's the mental illness. Make it make sense, Dawn. Make it make sense.
Do you think Darrell should go to prison, and if so, how long?
There should be some accountability to what he did.
Okay, which
Yes,
should look
ma'am.
like what?
How long?
Forever.
That's not for me to say.
Yeah, I feel you, sis. This is that's a tough situation. That's a tough situation to be in. But you got to, it just is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. The worst part for you is that people probably do blame you, and I can see why, because I can find some blame for you myself. But I mean, you sat here in this interview and chose to make excuses for Darrell. So people being, not very pleasant to you, I can understand. I can understand that. I can see that. Absolutely. But it is what it is, you know. It is what it is. Call a spade a spade. Ain't nobody gonna be mad at you if you go visit your son. But at the same time, you should also be talking about what he did. If you're gonna speak on it at all, like you do this interview, if you're gonna bother to do this, what you should have been doing was telling absolute truth. Absolute truth. People can sympathize with absolute truth because life is ugly sometimes. Life is ugly for everybody. It's sometimes. Okay? Even the Bezos of the world, the everybody has there's ugly forever. There's enough ugliness in the world to go around, so everybody gets some. So because of that, when you're honest about that shit, people can relate and people can sympathize. But when you come out and you sound just like him, we're gonna treat you just like him. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Okay. If Daryl was my kid, I would be like, he was crazy. He was always a nut. He was very inconvenient. He was. It's terrible what he done, but a part of me is relieved that he gone. I mean, I feel guilty that I made the person who took so many. That's fucked up. It's gonna be hard for me not to feel responsible for that in some way. It's gonna be hard. But I mean, he was just a horrible person. He just was. I love him, but he horrible. That's what you say. That's how it goes. I love him cause he my baby, but he horrible. That's what you because that's the truth. It's why he was in your driveway and not in your house. It's why your grandson couldn't be around him. It's what like you had to bail him out because he tried to run over his girlfriend. Like, I mean, clearly he was gonna get where he was going no matter what. Now, Dawn, moral of the story is, all right, y'all know what to do. Y'all behave because I'm not gonna do it. Okay, I'm too busy doing shit like this. Okay. Mama love you. Peace.